how do you balance studies, work possibly, and all this social stuff?
Like I said,
How do you have a life when you go there?
I'm the most boring person, so you shouldn't be asking me these things. For me, it's just university and work. I mean, to be fair, I do go out with my friends sometimes. They like go around Paris and just they go sightseeing and stuff, which I do. But balancing again, I think is a discipline thing. Like if you can be disciplined enough, you make sure that you do the things that you have to do. Like for example, if you have university projects, don't let them like lay around and don't wait without finishing it, because it's important to remember why you're there. I mean, if you have gone there because you want to, remember one thing, it's not cheap, right? If you are going there to study, make sure that you don't let that then don't lose focus of that for anything, because obviously when you start earning and stuff, that people say that there's a tendency to like, oh, why should I like continue this? I'm getting good money, which is good. You get a decent salary, there when you work there, because you have the minimum wage rule, I guess, in France and stuff like that. So you're getting good money. But I think it's important to not lose sight of why you went there, which is you can always have fun. Yeah, because like I said, the reason why I don't go much around is because I'm honestly a boring person. Like I if I can stay at home and sleep, I would do that. But my other friends, they like to go around places, go and see places, go and meet friends, and they do that. But they also do what they're supposed to, which is they do their studies, they finish their work, and they're doing what they came to do, which is the most important thing. And that's where the discipline aspect comes into play. Like it's important not to lose sight, because it's a shame if you do, because you came with that goal in mind, and if you let it go, maybe if you find out halfway through that it's not working for you, or it's not something that you thought it would be something but it's not, then I guess it's up to you to make that decision to switch. I wanted to study aeronautical engineering. That's my goal. That's the only reason why I went to France, to be honest. If I could do it in Sri Lanka, I would, but because it's better in France, I went there. So if you have that goal, if you don't lose sight of that goal, and you can plan accordingly, I think it will fall in place. You need to be disciplined, but make sure. I mean, what I mean is, like, if you lose sight of your goal, you could be like, like, sorry for swearing, but like,
yeah, and you don't want to lose sight of your goal in a foreign land as well.
Yeah.
You can maybe have a fallback option in a place where you are comfortable with, for example, in your home country.
Yeah.
But in a foreign land where limited amount of people and you have limited resources, you don't want to screw up there.
I agree 100%. Like, it's a shame, but then also people, like I said, like, if one example I can tell is, like, when people start working, they realize, the pay is good, and then they give up on what they came for and stuff like that, and they just continue working. It won't affect them too much because they're getting their salary or whatever. But again, depends on, maybe their plan wasn't to study at all. Maybe they just came to work. It's a risk for sure, but I think if they can, I mean, there are people who have done it and made it work as well. If you want to do that, if you want to follow what you're doing, like, I think it's important not to lose sight. Like, don't forget why you're there. And if you don't forget it, and if you keep that as your like your priority, then accordingly you will adjust the other things. Like, for example, I work on Saturdays and Sundays, which is the only time I work. But if I have exams coming up, like the next Monday, I would always like tell in advance, I'm sorry, I can't work on Sundays because I have to study. But maybe someone else might feel like, I'm not really bothered about whether I pass or not. It's better for me to work, because one thing is that if I don't work, I don't get paid, for sure. Which is normal. But for me, I don't really care about that, because it's good that I'm earning money, but that's not what I'm there for. I'm not there to earn that money. I'm there to study. So that's why I just keep coming back to don't lose sight of why you went there.